Drake might be having one of the biggest crash outs in hip hop history, y'all. Let's break it down and let's see how we got to this point.
Drake, rapper and former actor, is what happens when you give a man everything. Fame, money, adoration, and he still chooses to act like a sulking teenager who just got unfollowed on Instagram. Once the crown prince of hip-hop, now a living meme thanks to Kendrick Lamar, all wrapped up in a midlife crisis. His music is still charting, sure, but the mystique, gone. The respect, cracking. The cool factor, buried somewhere under a pile of bad tattoos and DM receipts.
Yeah, he might be still charting. He's still streaming high numbers because he had a loyal fan base for so long. But the mystique is gone. The mystique is totally gone. Like the popularity is gone. You know what I'm saying? He does not have the it factor no more. You get what I'm saying? I think Kendrick peeled off the layers of his personality, and now he's a shell of himself. You know what I'm saying? Last year, I think it's a career ending. It could be career ending, y'all. It could be career ending.
Like a fine wine, he's aging like a White Claw left open in the sun. You know, at one point, Drake was a cultural force. He redefined vulnerability in rap. He blurred the line between rapper and crooner, giving sad boys everywhere a soundtrack to cry to. He was calculated, clever, and always one step ahead. But then something shifted. Somewhere around the time he started beefing with children and texting minors, the aura curdled. Now he's not the tastemaker, he's the punchline.
Beefing with children and texting minors. I don't know about the beefing with children part. Y'all gotta let me know in the comment section below if we got any motherfuckers got any information on that. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Now the texting minors, you know, I heard about, you know, certain situations with certain little young girls where she was saying that, you know, she texted with Drake all the time. I thought it was pretty unusual. But we know, let's break it down some more. Let's break it down some more.
A man in his late 30s still rapping about ghosting girls half his age and flexing like he's in a group chat with the cast of Euphoria. The fall didn't happen all at once, it was death by 1,000 eye rolls. The cringe started creeping in a few albums ago. Certified Lover Boy felt like the title of a cologne you'd find at a gas station. Honestly, Nevermind sounded like a hostage note set to house music. And For All the Dogs...
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
At this point, Drake albums feel like the sonic equivalent of a shirtless selfie captioned, "I'm different," posted at 3 a.m. from a hotel bathroom. He's not making music anymore, he's trauma dumping over beat.
I don't agree with selfies in the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, people be using it in the public toilet. I don't give a fuck how lavish the motherfucker look like. You know what I'm saying? Niggas can't be doing that shit. I don't even like when girls do that shit. Then they be taking a fucking picture in the toilet in the goddamn back. Why? There ain't nothing cool about it. I never understood it. I don't want to understand it.
Streams, but popularity isn't the same thing as credibility. And right now, Drake's credibility is rotting faster than his hairline. Because when you peel back the layers of champagne-soaked flexing and Toronto-bred smugness, you're left with a guy who peaked emotionally at 19 and has spent the last decade trying to turn stunted maturity into a brand. The internet, of course, has had a field day. Every new Drake photo becomes an immediate meme. The fingernail painting, the braided pigtails, the face tattoos, the obsession with looking like a SoundCloud
Fingernails, nail polish, I'm not doing that shit. The pigtails, if he's feeling gangster today, hey, that's a look he's going for. But the nail polish, that's where I draw the heavy fucking line. And there's a fact. Popularity and credibility is two different things. Popularity can get you so far. But in the rap game, once your credibility is gone, that's about it, dog. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to play a character, you got to play that character to the end. And fool the masses with it. You know what I'm talking about? But you cannot lose your credibility. So he's still charting off the fact that, you know what I mean? He's got popularity. I don't know about the new album. I think at a time of war, we don't need no R&B records. You see what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. And I don't like the Nokia record. I tried to listen to it. I got through the first 30 seconds. I said, Drake, this sound like when you first came out. And this is the wrong time for something like this. You know what I'm saying? When we at war, we got to lock and load now.
rapper who got lost on the way to Hot Topic. It would be one thing if it was self-aware, but that's the real tragedy. Drake thinks he's still the blueprint. He thinks he's setting trends. Meanwhile, the culture has moved on, and he's out here dressing like a retired anime villain and calling it aesthetic. But let's address the elephant in the DMs. The allegations. The friendships with teenage girls. The way he seems to collect 17-year-olds like they're Pokemon he's keeping in the vault for later. There's no concrete smoking gun, but the optics are radioactive. The Millie Bobby Brown situation alone should have been a career redefining scandal, not a quirky footnote.
The Millie Bobby Brown, that's the little girl we was talking about. Why are you messaging this little girl? Giving her boy advice and all kind of shit. Why? Why are you messaging this little white girl? Leave the little white girl alone, man. Why? But I mean, maybe they're friends. I don't know. But I'm not messaging the little, you know what I mean, teeny bopper in the nighttime talking about little boys. Oh my God. And then she spilled the whole beans on the red carpet. Oh my God.
Text a lot isn't a clarification, it's a red flag gift wrapped in PR vagueness. And every time the topic comes up, his fans hand wave it away with the kind of mental gymnastics that would get them gold medals in the denial Olympics. And it's not just Millie Bobby Brown. The list of young, barely legal women he's been mentoring is long enough to raise eyebrows in a courtroom. He's either dangerously naive or shamelessly calculating, and neither option paints a flattering picture. At best, it's creepy. At worst, it's predatory behavior hiding behind a velvet rope of plausible deniability. Even his personal feuds have turned embarrassing. The Kendrick Lamar beef is only the latest example of a man who used to own the throne, now flailing to stay relevant. Drake used to dominate his enemies with surgical precision. Now he responds like someone subtweeting from their burner account. He disses like a man who spent too long rehearsing in the mirror and still can't land the punch. The arrogance is still there, but the edge is gone. And the real kicker? He's insecure. Always has been. He masks it with bravado, but his obsession with approval is suffocating. He'll drop a song, then immediately start scouring Twitter for validation. He's a billionaire who behaves like a freshman.
I think the approval part comes to how he grew up. Biracial. The kids probably used to make fun of him at school and shit. You know what I mean? You're half Jewish, half nigga. They probably used to make fun of him all the time. He probably been looking for acceptance his whole life. And then finally gets to the rap game. And he's still he was accepted at first. But now he's just not accepted. Now he's, once again, back to being the outsider. Golly. I really feel he should have took the stance of J. Cole and apologized to Kendrick immediately and ended the fucking shit.
Desperate to sit at the cool table. You can hear it in his music. Softer, lazier, full of recycled bars and emotional manipulation. He's not innovating, he's reacting, and it's starting to show. Then there's the fatherhood storyline. Arguably the most grown-up move he's made, and even that was botched. He didn't own up to having a kid until his reputation was torched with a diss track. Drake, the king of image control, got exposed by—
I don't know how Drake managed to come back from that. To this day, I don't understand it. Bro, you was hiding a whole child with an individual from the entertainment world that does adult movies. When that got out, I said, how was this guy bounce back from this one? But he did. But I think the skeletons that was in the closet, you know what I'm saying, eventually everything had to come out and become microscopic. So we had to really dissect his character now. Kendrick probably put a mirror in front of his face and said, yo, y'all got to see who this brother is. You know what I'm saying?
by a man in a do-rag and never fully recovered. Since then, his attempts to play the doting dad feel less like growth and more like a PR cleanup operation with joint custody. And let's be clear, Drake's not going anywhere. He's too big to fail. He'll keep putting out albums, he'll keep racking up streams, but he's no longer the voice of a generation. He's the echo of one. A man who's too old for the party, but too rich.
He's no longer the voice of a generation. He's the echo of one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You know what I'm saying? Can Drake bounce back from this assault that Kendrick has put on him, and now the game has basically washed their hands with the pot? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, let me know what country, what state, what province, what street corner, what penthouse you checking in from. Cause we worldwide, baby, and it's nothing but love.